Hello, friends. Welcome back to Full Bore Silver. Well, rocket ship time, silver and gold. Silver breached 89 today, gold 52.35. Extraordinary moves. Miners had a big day today, too. And as predicted, the trolls on X, when this Mexican thing went down with the extermination of the cartel leader, people all over X yesterday. Oh, I'm so smart. I divested of all of my mining stocks on Thursday or Friday. Great job, Nostradamus. You missed a 5% move today on First Majestic, 7% on Equinox. You missed 19% on Lahontan, which we talked about yesterday. You missed 8% on Fortuna, 9% on Kuya, and 8% on Santa Cruz Silver. All of them have stake in Mexico. Yes, it is a tenuous situation down there. But I will remind you, the cartels, they're involved in a lot of legitimate business as well as illicit. And their revenue stream stops when the roads are blocked, cars are on fire, there's turmoil. These cartels are involved in agribusiness, they're involved in construction, concrete. They get extortion money from hotels and tourism, which is, probably nuked for a little while in Mexico. But they want their revenue stream to continue. So nothing is going to stop the extraction of silver. The mining companies, some of them have to pay a VIG to operate down there. But I have conviction in these mining companies. We are in a precious metals bull market. We're in a commodity super cycle bull market that will probably last for the rest of our lives. Why would you sell in a bull market? Why would you divest of your silver miners if you have conviction that silver is going to go higher? And the largest silver producing country in the world is where you get said silver. It makes no sense. I know you want to seem like a tough guy. You sold all the mining stocks and somehow you read the market. You were like Cantor Fitzgerald and Howard Nutlick, and you bought puts on American Airlines in early September of 2001. Did a lot of research, just really came out of the blue. No prior knowledge, nothing. I have conviction in what I buy equity-wise. I look at price to book, price to earnings, financials, cash flow, revenue, management team. I do the research, and what I do is I take each individual equity and I put it on a ratio chart versus gold, which is the only financial metric in the world, save silver, not the fiat dollar, and I find out the true valuation of the company. And we are breaking out of all-time troughs. I am going to show you a couple charts that show you how I analyze this on a ratio chart to determine the viability of these mining companies. Now, that being said, they are speculative, and some of them do not even generate positive cash flow revenue-wise at the end of the year, but they are selling into the greatest precious metals bull market that we have seen thus far, unless you lived through the 1970s gold market. I have conviction in what I buy. I'm not selling on a whim. Now, if you are a little older and you're trying to be risk averse, no shade on you there. But if you're under 50 and you're trying to trade in and out of these things, that's ridiculous. Number one, you're exposing yourself to a lot of tax liability. Number two, you're likely to miss the move. Look, if Druckenmiller and Dalio and Warren Buffett can't time markets, then odds are you probably can't either. So, all right, guys, this is the kind of chart that I look for when I'm analyzing these small exploration prospector companies. This is the monthly going back to 2022. I mean, look at this. We're just right out of the troughs. This is Lahontan versus gold ratio chart. This move has barely even begun. Let's look at another one. Free gold. Reduce this a little bit. Oh yeah, baby. Look at that. I mean, I can barely minimize the chart enough. We're at rock bottom. Why would you exit on a bull market when we've barely even broken out? Versus gold, the price of gold. Free gold versus the price of gold. We're at the absolute troughs. Goes back to 2006. Let's look at one more. What's my next one? Let's go Guanajuato. Same deal. Absolute troughs. Why would you just sell on news in the midst of a bull market? Yes, it has been rocky, but we've barely even begun to break out. For comparison's sake, NVIDIA. I mean, we're pretty near all-time highs versus gold. You gotta ride the lightning here. You gotta be Metallica. You gotta like ride these waves, and you gotta just surf the silver glory and not be a nervous Nelly every time these markets go up and down. We don't trade on news. Also, largely news is 3 to 6 months old anyway, and the insiders already bought in. They knew. I mean, take our favorite congressperson, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She was buying Hecla last spring, okay, before all the tourists and the normies rolled into Hecla. She was buying it. She had that prior knowledge because she sits on all the mining and environmental and commodities committees in Congress. And so if you're following the news, the train has already left the station. I would not recommend trading that way or investing that way. Now, we have some interesting earnings coming up. Buenaventura, Thursday, 226. Energy Fuels, UUUU, which is uranium play. I'm bullish on uranium. Uranium, that is on, Energy Fuels is on Friday, 227. Uranium did get smacked down today. I legged into more Cameco and UUUU. And the reason it got smacked down is because of news. Supposedly, the administration is setting price floors, and then they're not setting price floors. Look, the administration and the government should not be involved in the free market whatsoever. Look at this government. They're ridiculous. So 20 years, 4 presidents, $2.5 trillion to go into Afghanistan, to take it away from the Taliban, to then give it back to the Taliban, plus $8 billion worth of military equipment. They're ridiculous. They should not be involved in this, but don't trade on this news. I don't think these price floors are going to happen. If they do happen, the commodities are going up anyway. They are not going to generate the energy capacity that we need for an industrialized society with windmills and solar panels, okay? It's going to be nuclear. It's going to be coal, natural gas, and petroleum. Now, also on Friday, 227, Fresnillo and EXK Endeavor, which I both have stake in. So we'll be watching that. Shanghai opens here in an hour and 20 minutes. They've been closed for a week. Everybody expected the big smackdown, but as we said, Wall Street often does the exact opposite of what people predict. So we will keep an eye on that. And here we are, forming another bull flag, coming out of a consolidation. So we'll see how Shanghai reacts, but very strong price action as of late. Thank you for tuning in. Have a fantastic Monday, February 23rd. Like, subscribe, share. Full Bore Silver. We'll talk to you soon.